Want to chat with a New York City girl?
I love Manhattan.
Chat with the hottest girl in the city. She's ready to take your call.
My name is Love Connie, and this is Manhattan Cable.
Manhattan Cable goes all over the world.
Manhattan Cable, a series produced by World of Wonder in the early 90s.
Madonna!
Manhattan Cable collects the wildest clips from New York's public access and takes us back to a time when New York was dirty, filthy, and oh so fun.
TV to die for, ladies and gentlemen.
On episode 1 of Manhattan Cable, a spiritual guide takes calls from people who are screwing ghosts. Did you know that wearing red underwear to bed helps you get along with your spouse? We'll see superstars like Robin Bird, Bret Easton Ellis, and RuPaul on a gay dating show.
I will work you, boy.
And so much more. Come on along with me, won't you?
In most American cities, there are television cable stations which, by law, have to give a couple channels to the local community. These are called public access channels. In Manhattan, there are 3 public access channels where anyone can bring in a videotape that they made themselves and get it televised. It can be about anything at all, and there is no censorship whatsoever. This is television made by extraordinary and ordinary Americans by and for themselves. We're going to be showing you a selection of Manhattan Cable's public access shows. We'll also be showing you some stories about New York that we shot just for you. We've got it all here, the whole enchilada, the whole of Manhattan life. So sit back while we watch these public access clips.
Never push your dream down inside of you because the world doesn't understand it, or because the world doesn't understand who you are, or the world doesn't understand your lifestyle, or the world doesn't understand what you want. Who cares what the world wants? Look at the world. Look at it. Do you want to lower yourself to its vibration, or do you want to be a harbinger of the light and lift the world up to your vibration? That's what I'm trying to do, having a good time doing it. You may as well come and join me. It's a fabulous adventure. You see what I'm saying? You've got to live what you love. I want this to be burned into your consciousness. Live what you love every moment of your life right now. Start right now. If you're not loving this program, for God's sakes, turn the channel. If it's not your thing, turn the channel. I'm sure there's got to be something on the channel or one of the cable channels that floats your boat, that, lifts your dress, bakes your cake. If it doesn't bake your cake, turn the channel.
In order to bring a guardian spirit closer to you, or your protective spirits, you really only need 3 things. 1 is a glass of water, 2 is some flowers, and 3 is a white candle. They tell me we have a call. Good evening, welcome to Encounters.
Good evening. My name is Mrs. Kelly.
Your name is what?
Kelly.
Kelly. Hi,
Right.
Kelly. What may we do for you?
Yes, I had some problems with a spirit having sex with me.
Yes?
But after those problems, when I got married, it stopped. But then I can't really say it has stopped because I still have those tendencies. I still think about it. And I had a lot of problems with my family,
You're still having problems?
A whole lot.
Do you have fights with your husband?
Yes.
I can tell you over the air that I have found that when you wear red underwear and red nightgowns to bed, that does help.
Every now and then there's a show on public access which totally turns New York inside out, and right now that show is Voyeur Vision. It's only been on for about 6 months, but it's got this huge cult following, probably because it takes full advantage of the freedom from censorship enjoyed by public access. Hello. Now that Voyeur Vision is poised to become a major network smash, we sent Albert Crudo down to the public access station to talk to the husband and wife team behind the Voyeur Vision phenomenon.
Hi, I'm Albert Crudo, and we're here at a Manhattan Cable Access studio on the east side of Manhattan, and we're discovering the future of television, and it's called Voyeur Vision. It's a new interactive phone sex show where you become part of the action, and it's taking New York by storm. Forget home shopping, forget teletext. This is state-of-the-art TV, and it's sex.
It's the only live telefantasy show that lets you, the viewer, or the voyeur, if you want to say, reveal your most intimate feelings of sexuality in the comforts of your own surroundings. So I thought it might be a little bit different to have somebody there live, almost like a human adult video game, where you could control their movements and enact a fantasy.
And your wife is the star.
Yeah. Talk about a auction. I want you to try to, yeah.
Do you ever get jealous of some of the callers?
I have to put my emotions aside and take it from a professional standpoint.
I'm going to take your and just ram it in.
I get aroused just by watching her on the screen. That's how I gauge the show, and I determine whether it was a good show or not.
Because that's why we're here tonight. To have some good, clean fun. But also to get nice and naughty and dirty.
Boo-boo, I love you. I know you're not gonna hurt me. I would never hurt you either. I'd whip you a little bit. My funny little lips? My funny little hair?
Not so little.
Okay, Boo-boo, you insulted me. I'm hanging up on you. Goodbye.
He insulted you?
Yeah, not really. He's an old man.
Good.
Hi, we're back.
Say you're on the phone with somebody and the conversation's going along, but it's getting out of hand and you want to cut them off. How would you take care of that situation?
I'd first ask them to hold on, so it wouldn't really look like I wouldn't hurt their feelings, and then I would disconnect them. I'd push the button.
What if somebody says something really rude to you? What would you do?
Fuck you!
Is that the ladies' way of telling
Yes.
somebody off?
I don't actually have to say it myself.
Oh, okay. Okay. What is one of the most unusual phone calls you've ever taken?
Unusual. There's this guy that calls me, and he gives himself head on the phone.
He gives himself head?
Yeah, he kind of sits in an Indian-style position and double-jointed or whatever, and it's big enough to do that.
And what's your part in this fantasy?
Well, he just tells me he's talking. He does a lot of the talking, and I'm kind of listening.
Do you think your mother watches you?
I know my mother watches me.
Is she proud of her little girl?
She calls up all her friends, and she sends them tapes. Because she's not really the average mom, I guess. But she's like my biggest critic. She tells me, I didn't like your hair, or you should have worn this, or, you know. She tells me stuff like that.
Why are you getting all this attention from the media? Like, what makes your show that much different?
I would like to think it has a lot to do with me. Because...
Well, how many are there? Because I want to know.
35 people just packed into this one cramped bedroom, and we're all watching you getting hotter and hotter, Lynn.
We're on camera here at the house, too.
What are you talking about?
We're on British TV, hon.
Oh, my
Hi to all
goodness.
those chaps.
Hi!
Got any phone calls from me? It's 1-900-CONNIE-HOLE for your deepest, darkest fantasy. Hello? Hello? Hi. No, Mom, no.
Hi, I'm Dorothy Dunn, and welcome to the Dorothy Dunn Show. I'm at the Apartment and Home Show. It's the 5th annual show at the Jacob Javits Convention Center here in New York. And that's the show for 1991. We're going to browse around and see what's new and innovative in the apartment and home business. Just take a look at this charming kitchen. And this is all done in a 5x10 space. Now, if you have a tiny little apartment, you can just make your kitchen look gorgeous with this beautiful table and the decorations and the chairs. And here's something else, this gorgeous window. If you don't have a window in your kitchen, just take a look at what you can do. And you know who does all of this is Judith Rydell. And Judith not only is so creative as a decorator, but she's a very humanitarian person. She donates 5% of her profits to the homeless, to the Better Homes and Gardens Homeless Foundation. I want you to meet Judith. Judith, come on over here and tell me all about your business and how you got started and everything else. Here's...
Hi. I'm not used to the camera.
Well, you just take a look at that camera because you're so pretty and everybody wants to see you, and they know you're so, this beautiful work of yours is so creative.
Thanks. What is it that you want to ask?
We had a cast change.
Yes, we did. We have a new person on Behind the Velvet Ropes. You may have seen her on the Oprah Winfrey Show. She was a shopaholic with this $2,300 Hermes handbag that we won't mention the price anymore.
But she got that on sale at Hermes. She's got quite style, needless to say, and we decided to induct her into Behind the Velvet Ropes, and her dance card was punched every day this week.
We put her a little bit through the ringers and to see what she could come up with. And she came back with an interview with Scavullo, as well as an interview at the IF Boutique.
She went shopping at IF, and it's actually quite something to see.
It was a stretch for her to go shopping.
So tell me, what kind of customer shops here?
Oh my God.
Any famous people?
The whole
Any
world.
horror stories you can tell us
The
about?
whole world. Horror stories. I can't talk.
Like who tried something on and ripped your dress?
I can't talk.
Oh, come on.
I can't talk.
He won't talk.
I can't
We
talk.
want gossip.
Not for money.
Behind the Velvet Ropes wants gossip.
I can't talk even for money. But there
Well,
are
how
Linda
much
Ronstadt,
money?
Raquel. Well, how much money do you have? You know.
So Raquel Welch, I know
You know, it's
Cher.
just, but there's stories. Yeah, Cher
Cher
has a
shops
story.
here.
Linda Ronstadt has a story. Everyone was with Ashley.
I bumped into a few
everyone.
people myself. Joan
This
Jett,
is
I
it.
think, was here.
Joan
I
Jett was
saw her.
trying on, and Michael Jackson lookalike. Is this Toyota? Toyota?
Latoya.
Latoya was here. And,
Did she buy clothes? Because
Sarah Bernhardt.
She's doing all those nude Playboy spreads.
Yeah, she bought some nipple rouge. You know. She's big on that. And everyone passes through. You know, they all pass through here like breakfast.
What's the difference between
Well, you not heard
fashion
this?
and style?
Oh, God, are you crazy? You can buy fashion, but you can't buy style. You know, fashion's easy. You know,
So even though you have money, if you have no style...
No, you'll just look like...
So if a woman comes here and she wants a new look, you can do that. You can
Sure.
help her, you know, put herself together.
I can screw
like
her up.
nobody else
No,
has
I can
done
screw her up
before.
real good, yeah. I can give it style.
Well, what I'd like to do now maybe is try on a few of If's fashions. What do you think?
Yeah, try on what I'm wearing. Well, let's change
You know, I,
clothes.
I can't get out of here without trying something on, and
My
hopefully I won't be
goodness.
too bad and buy too much.
We greet you all, dear friends.
Whatever she's on, I want some of it.
We are most happy to be with you. You know, you are, as human organisms, always both sending and receiving. You're not even doing it simultaneously. And it is the simultaneity of receiving and sending. That creates the mobile fusion out of which you pluck your reality.
Hello, what do Mae West, Robert Kennedy, Rita Hayworth, John Lennon, and Perry Ellis all have in common? Well, when they died, they all went to the same place. Not heaven, and I don't mean hell, silly. The Frank E. Campbell Funeral Home on Manhattan's Upper East Side.
It's probably the most noted funeral home in the United States, if not the world, because of the clientele that we service in New York and throughout the world.
Rudolph Valentino was your first big notable?
Yes, which was at that time the largest service, and it just created the name of Campbell's in the city of New York as the place where anybody in the theater, politics, or society wanted to go to. We've had Judy Garland, Joan Crawford, John Lennon, Eric Clapton's son.
R.I.P. More like VIP. Honey, sign me up. I would be more than happy to spend eternity with these legends.
Tallulah Bankhead, Ethel Merman. Probably the greatest compliment we ever received was from the press. When Greta Garbo passed away, there was a little clipping on the news says, Garbo, as in life, goes out in mystery. We presume that Frankie Campbell is handling the funeral, but they're not even talking. Cosmetics and everything else have to be absolutely as best as they can be.
So do they plan for those things ahead of time? Just
Some people do, some people don't. We've had people that have come in and prearranged and brought the, as one lady said to me, I have this luscious little black Chanel. I want to be in that. I'm bringing it into you with my pearls. And we have them here for the day that anything should happen, that she'll be in her luscious little black dress.
This is the room I've been dying to get into, the casket selection room.
We offer caskets to families from $825 to $79,500.
Here's an elegant one with material I'd be glad to wear as a dress, not just lay on. This one is silver plated and also features the dream weave for your utmost funereal comfort. For those of you who like less opulent things, this mahogany one is quite simple and it's kept well shined.
We have had, on occasion, families that want to have very valuable pieces of jewelry, and I mean some mind-boggling pieces of jewelry to go with the body. If that's what they insist on, that's what would happen.
This is the urn room, which proves that there is a decent living to be made off the recent dying in many different styles. This tombstone with a skyline of New York City for the real glamorous nightlife type personality might want to have that. And a death mask, which is preferred by people of Eastern European descent. This is sort of a very Greek-looking mini urn. Is this one of your scrapbooks?
Yes, this particular scrapbook is everything about the Rudolph Valentino funeral. August 25th, 1926 was the day that this one was taken. And I think up into Judy Garland's service, that was the biggest service biggest attended service we had of crowds of people. I would think Judy Garland's would come second, and in the last 21 years, as for crowds of people showing up because of everybody's interest in baseball and the New York Yankees, was probably Billy Martin.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Not John Lennon? I'm surprised.
Well, John Lennon basically had a very private type service. It probably would have been one of the largest ones if it was open to the public, but everything was done very privately. It's an interesting job. It's exciting because of the people that you get to deal with.
Our Blessed Mother revealed the existence of an impostor pope for the first time on September 27, 1975, when she said,
Our dear beloved vicar, Pope Paul VI, he suffers much at the hands of those he trusts. My child shouted from the rooftops, he is not able to do his mission. They have laid him low, my child. He is ill. He is very ill. Now there is one who is ruling in his place, an imposter created from the minds of the agents of Satan.
In these photographs, the real Pope Paul VI is shown on the left, and the impostor Pope on the right. You can see that although the impostor bore a close resemblance to Pope Paul, there are noticeable differences between the two men. Note that Pope Paul had a long nose that extended down as far as his earlobe. On the right, the nose of the impostor is much shorter in comparison to the ear, not to mention his more severe facial expression compared to the soft look on the face of the Holy Father. Once again, on this set of photos, you can see that Pope Paul VI had a long, straight nose. The nose of the impostor is shorter and rounder, and his ear is longer and not as wide. Notice the completely different ear structures of Pope Paul and the impostor. Even the best plastic surgeons in the world find it difficult to tamper with the tiny bone structure of the human ear.
Plastic surgery, my child. The best of surgeons were used to create this imposter.
Hello! We're back with some more fabulous uncensored clips from Manhattan's public access stations. And when I say uncensored, I mean it.
Hi, we're back, and I'm just snuggled up next to my loved one. Do you have a loved one? Well, I've got my loved one here. This is Heather Hunter, and she's my loved one. Yes. Lie back and get comfortable. We have with us Busty Bell.
In New York and London, the most notorious current best-selling novel is American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis. It's the story of a 1980s yuppie who works on Wall Street by day and chops up women at night. The book was dropped by its first publisher due to horrendous pre-publicity. It is littered with murders, and it's littered with references to the trendiest and most conspicuous consumables. Bill Judkins sampled the book and then talked to the creator of this modern Frankenstein about its brand name psychosis.
Reeves is wearing a 6-button, double-breasted suit by Christian Dior, a cotton shirt, a patterned silk tie by Claiborne, perforated cap-toe leather lace-ups by Alan Edmonds, a cotton handkerchief in his pocket, probably from Brooks Brothers, sunglasses by Lafont Paris lie on a napkin by his drink, and a fairly nice attaché case from T. Anthony rests on an empty chair by our table. What sort of table? We hooked up with Bret at one of the American Psycho's favorite haunts, Harry's Bar on Wall Street. We read through your book and calculated a top 10 list of the most frequently mentioned brand names. Came up in the book. And maybe if we went through these, you could tell us the significance of some of these.
Well, I'll give it a shot, but I might not even know any of them, but let's
give it a
see
shot.
What they are.
Let's give it a shot. Number 1 was Ralph Lauren.
Okay.
Does that surprise you?
No, not at all. Not at all. That seems to me to be... I mean, now this was not... I never consciously planned that Ralph Lauren would be the number 1 status label in the book, but during that decade and during that time, yeah, that seems appropriate to me that most people would be wearing or talking about.
What do you
clothes.
associate with Ralph Lauren?
What do I associate with? Advertising. I associate the ads. I associate the very, kind of intensely waspy, angular-faced men and women staring off into the distance and contemplating, I don't know, their futures.
Evelyn and I are by far the best dressed couple. I'm wearing a lamb's wool top coat, a wool jacket with wool flannel trousers, a cotton shirt, a cashmere V-neck sweater, and a silk tie, all from Armani. Number 2 is Giorgio Armani.
Not surprising to me. It seemed that it was either Ralph Lauren or Armani, which most of the guys I met with were wearing or talking about or wanting to wear. So that doesn't surprise me either.
Let's continue down our list here. Next was the Sony Walkman, which is very prevalent in the book.
I mean, it's very easy to put that on and block out everything else going on around you and just seeing things, not hearing anything. It's not a bad metaphor, I don't think, but it didn't hit me until now. So, what's number 4?
Number 4 is the stage production of Les Miserables. Why Les Miserables? Why not Cats? Why not Phantom of the Opera?
I think during the time that the time frame of this book, and that seemed to be the show that everyone was talking about.
Number 5 on our list is J&B, which your lead character, Mr. Bateman, drinks when he comes into this establishment.
I don't know. That's a character flaw. That sort of guy would probably be drinking Dewar's.
Let's move on down the list here. The Tunnel Club. As opposed to other clubs in New York.
There seemed to be, when I was hanging out with these guys, an inordinate amount of Wall Street associated parties going on there. So that, I mean, again, this does not reflect, I guess, my tastes in clubdom at the time, but again.
Well, we'll assume that, generally speaking, the book doesn't reflect your taste in quite a few things.
No, it doesn't. Which is actually the most complimentary thing anyone has said about me or the book so far.
Bill Blass comes out at number 7 on our list. Anything you'd like to tell us about Bill Blass?
I know nothing about Bill Blass, actually. I don't know. I don't wear any of his clothing, and I'm surprised he made it that high.
Rolex, Evian Water, and Obsession perfume are the last 3 on our list.
Whoa. I think all pretty much self-explanatory. What people were drinking and the way they kept time and how they smelled. Those 3 sum it up.
Tell us a bit about, say, what you're wearing right now. I mean, that's a nice tie, for instance.
Thank you. Well, the watch is actually a Guess watch. The suit is Paul Smith, and the shirt is no name brand from Los Angeles, and the same with the shoes.
And your underwear, would that be Calvin Klein perhaps? Or?
I'm not wearing any underwear, so.
At this point, Bret Easton Ellis only had one of his books made into a movie, Less Than Zero. But since then, we've seen movies made from his books, American Psycho and Rules of Attraction. I have no idea if he ever started wearing underwear, though.
Happy birthday, Filthy the dog. Happy birthday, Filthy the dog. Happy, 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 happy birthday, Filthy the dog. Happy birthday, Filthy the dog. Happy birthday, Filthy the dog. Happy, 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 happy birthday, Filthy the dog. Happy birthday, Filthy the dog. Happy birthday, Filthy the dog. Happy, 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 happy birthday, Filthy the dog.
You know, earthquakes, like every other event on this planet, are affected by the position of the stars. They're affected by the position of the planets at any given moment. Earthquakes, too, have horoscopes. Now, with a person, it's different. People have free will. especially if you study astrology. If you take a look at your horoscope and you see what's coming, then you can make adjustments. If you see an accident coming, you can take steps to avoid it. If you see some good luck coming, well, then you can push things to make things even better for you. But for something such as the Earth, well, there is no such thing as free will. Things just happen. So earthquakes tend to be a bit more deterministic. Now, let me say at the outset that just having planets in a certain position by itself won't cause an earthquake. Let's take a look at the first horoscope on the list. This is the horoscope for the Armenian earthquake in December 1988. Now, as soon as the quake happened, I set up a horoscope for it, and I tried to figure out what was causing that earthquake. I noticed that the planet Jupiter was right at the bottom of the chart. At the bottom, of course, is foundations. But the thing is, I was thinking about it, Jupiter by itself could not have done this.
Those of you that watch my show every week are used to seeing me here on cable TV every Sunday morning at 10:30. Well, sometimes I'm also on TV during the week. A couple days each month, I'm honored to be able to do little parts in soap operas, and once in a while movies and other TV shows. And today, I thought it'd be fun to show you some clips from some of the shows that I've done. Sanders, your grandmother has permission to visit.
Oh, great. Thanks. Well, well, I am truly blessed. Imagine that, a Chandler visit a swamp. You can leave us alone.
All right, Connolly, you got 3 minutes and you're expected downstairs.
Yeah.
I thought I was a little wimpy in that last scene, don't you? The guy didn't look too intimidated. Let me try this line again. The note I always get from directors is, say it with more authority. So let me try it again. Okay, Connolly, you got 3 minutes and you're expected downstairs.
In a $1 billion facelift, the city of New York tried to clean up Times Square and failed. So now the job is left to the motley crew of Times Square messiahs who preach their radical messages of salvation to the damned, come rain or come shine.
Without Jesus Christ, you serve the devil. And that's why, friend, you act like the devil. You talk like the devil. You're beginning to even look like the devil. And you serve the devil, and you die. That's right, without Christ serving the devil. With the devil, you will go in the lake of fire.
So one day I went to church, and I know it was God, because I'll tell you, and when this preacher preached, if I were to die and I'm not right with God, he didn't even know me. He looked at me. And he said, come right here. If you were to die and you're not right with God, right to hell and like a fire, you'll go. I got scared. April 15, 1984. Thank the Lord Jesus saved me that day.
People today do not love God. You know what they love? Money. How much money did Malcolm Forbes leave? He left it all. How much money did Christine Onassis leave? She left it all.
My name is Brenda Allen, and I am a street preacher, and I'm here to declare the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Do you think New York is kind of a godless town?
Oh yes, definitely. We have all types of demons in this city. Pornography, drugs, homosexuality, abortion.
Does it bug you when people call you fanatical?
Well, they crucified Jesus Christ.
Look at Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein believes in God, but he does not know him.
With the Black Hebrew Israelites, oh yes. In fact, they are violent. I mean, they say they hate white people, but they hate anyone who disagrees with them.
He that leadeth into captivity. He that leadeth into captivity. Who led you Negroes, Western and Puerto Ricans into captivity? Who led you into captivity, man? Say it.
Well, first, my name is Aharon, Priest Aharon, and we're the Hebrew Israelites that the Bible reads of. And we're out here teaching that the so-called Negroes in America are the real Jews according to the Bible. Well, we have people that say that we're out here teaching hate and we're out here teaching lies, but it hasn't been proven.
One woman said, you know, oh, well, they said they were going to have someone come and rape me and stuff like that.
No, but according to the Bible, it tells in the Bible that you reap what you sow, an eye for an eye. It tells you that in the scriptures. And our nation was raped and robbed and ravished. Our women were raped by the so-called white people in slavery. So the Lord says the same shall be done to them.
Of you so-called Europeans, we, he shall surely be put to death. He shall what? Surely be put to death. What? He shall surely be put to death. Read it again, I like that. He shall surely be put to death.
Number 3, tell me about number 1's bottom.
I don't know nothing about her, but I want to get down to some brass tacks. Honey, you pick me, baby, I will take you off. I will work you, boy. Do you hear me? Enough about contestant number 1. Let's talk about me. No, enough about you.
Number 2,
that's me.
It took me 6 months to train my dog to sit, beg, and roll over. How long would it take me to treat you?
About 6 months. but I can train your dog a lot faster.
Well, what kind of discipline should I use? Spanking, scolding, or bondage?
What about Pisces?
Okay, number 3. Number 3?
Yeah, baby.
You're at a party and number 2's there wearing the same dress. What do you do to her?
What do I do? Actually, I don't have to worry about a thing from number 2 with the same dress on because, you know, when I wear a dress.
No, number 1 should be wearing the same dress.
Well, if number 2 and if the whole room is wearing the same dress. I can work. It doesn't matter. It's not matter where you're from. It's where you're at. It's not matter what you're wearing. It's how you wear it.
Okay, number 2. Who do you think I should pick?
I think you should pick number 3. Because she really I need it, but she really needs it.
Honey, if you can't love contestant number 3, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else?
Oh, it's that special time. We're ready for that decision. Is it going to be Bachelorette number 1, Bachelorette number 2, or Bachelorette number 3? Who did you choose and why?
I picked number 3 because I'm afraid if I don't, I'd get hurt.
Always a good reason to choose a Bachelorette. Let's present RuPaul. There she is.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
On the Gay Dating Game Show Date, La Homa. Now, girls.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you, Tommy. You have won a trip to Stonewall Acres.
Mom, can you bring me a snack? No, he's on hold. 5 more minutes. Okay.